Hi guys, I am Chapa and I am back again with Maths XYZ, and today I will be taking you through finding an equation of a hyperbola given both the asymptotes and another point on the graph. The first thing that we must write down is the equation of a hyperbola, which is f at x is equals to a divided by x minus p plus q, so that we can know of the unknown parameters that we must find out. Then a, it stands for the constant which determine at which quadrant the graph will lie, and p, it's our vertical asymptote, and q, it's our horizontal asymptote. Then the question that we have is to find an equation of a hyperbola given both the asymptotes, the horizontal asymptote and the vertical asymptote, and another point on the graph. The horizontal asymptote that we have is q is equals to 6, and our vertical asymptote is equals to -2, and another point on the graph, it has the coordinate of 1:9. This is for another point on the graph. And then from here we substitute the asymptote into the equation, which we will get f at x is equals to a divided by x, and our vertical asymptote is -2. That will make it +2 plus 6 there. Now we are left with one unknown, which is a, the constant which determines at which quadrant the graph will lie. Then to find the value of a, we use the other point on the graph. We substitute 1:9, of which 1 is our x coordinate and 9 is our y coordinate. Then after substituting the other point on the graph, we'll be left with 9 is equals to a divided by 1 plus 2, of which 1 is the x coordinate, which will give us 3 plus 6. Then 3 multiplied by 9, it will give us 27. It's equals to a, plus 3 multiplied by 6, it will give us 18, of which we'll be left with a is equals to 27 minus 18, of which we'll get 9. And then after finding a is equals to 9, we now have our complete equation, of which it will be f at x is equals to, instead of a, then we'll replace a by 9, because 9 is the value of a, divided by x plus 2 plus 6. Then that will be our complete equation. It will be f at x, it's equals to 9 divided by x plus 2 plus 6. This is our complete equation of a hyperbola, because we now have the constant which determine at which quadrant the graph will lie, and we now have our asymptote, the vertical asymptote, and we now have our horizontal asymptote. Then that's it. When you are given two asymptote and another point on the graph, this is how you determine the equation of a hyperbola. Let's look at another example of finding an equation of a hyperbola given only one asymptote and the other 2 points on the graph. Right. For this question, we are given only the vertical asymptote, of which the vertical asymptote that we are given is equals to -4, and other 2 points on the graph, of which the coordinates are -3 is to 7, and the second point, the coordinates are -7 is to -5. Then to solve for this one, we first substitute the vertical asymptote into the equation, and we will have f at x is equals to a divided by x plus 4 plus q. We are left with two unknowns in the equation. Then to find the two unknowns, we use these two other points on the graph so that we can solve for the two unknowns. So substituting the first point on the graph, which is -3 is to 7, we'll have 7 is equals to a divided by -3 plus 4, it will give us 1, so it will be a divided by 1 plus q, of which to make a the subject to the formula, we'll be left with a is equals to 7 minus q. This is our first equation. Then we use the second point on the graph to find the second equation, so that we can solve simultaneously and get the values of a and q, which is our unknowns. Then using the second point on the graph, we'll have which is -7 and -5. This one is our x and this one is our y. Then we'll have -5 is equals to a divided by -7 plus 4, of which it will give us -3 plus q. Then -5 multiplied by -3, it will give us 15. It's equals to a. -3 multiplied by q, it will give us -3q. Then making a the subject to the formula, we'll be left with a, it's equals to 15 plus 3q. Then now this is our second equation. We now have two equations and two unknowns. That means that we can find the values of our two unknowns using simultaneous equation. Then let me just make space here. I will have making space here. Our first equation is A is equals to 7 minus Q. This is our first equation. And our second equation is A, it's equals to 15 plus 3Q. Then, okay, let me just erase this so that I can make space down here as well. Then from here, to find the values, we have two equations and two unknowns. Then I'll just equate the two equations so that I can find the value of Q. This is our second equation. To find the value of Q, it will be 7 minus Q is equals to 15 plus 3Q. Then grouping them together in like terms, it will be 7. It will be 7 minus 15 is equals to 3Q plus Q, of which this will be 4Q, and 7 minus 15, it will give us negative 8. Then from here to solve for Q, it will be negative 8 divided by 4, of which Q it will be equals to negative 2. Then from here to find the value of A, we just substitute the Q is equals to negative 2 into one of these two equations. So we'll just use the first equation, which is A is equals to 7 minus Q, to find the value of A. Then it will be A is equals to 7 minus Q, of which Q is negative 2. So it will be 7 minus negative 2, of which 7 minus and minus, it will give us positive, and it will be 7 plus 2, which is equals to 9. Then now we have our complete equation, because we have the value of P, we have the value of Q, and we now have the value of A as well. Then our complete equation, it would be f and x, it's equals to A, which is 9, divide by x. Remember, we were given the value of the vertical asymptote, which was negative 4, so it will be plus 4 here, and then our Q here is minus 2, then it will be minus 2 there. This is our complete equation for the hyperbola. If you are given one asymptote and 2 points on the graph, you solve you substitute the asymptote into the equation, then you will be left with only two unknowns. So with the 2 points on the graph, you use the 2 points to solve the unknowns using simultaneous equation, and this is how we came out to the final answer, which is f and x is equals to 9 divided by x plus 4 minus 2. I hope you guys enjoyed this session. If you have any comments or any question, please just put it on the comment note, then we'll have a follow-up on it. Please don't forget to subscribe to Math XYZ so that you can get daily notification when we upload videos. Thank you.